Hi, everybody. I'm Jurgen here with the Extra Mile live at South by Southwest with the cast of The True Beauty of Being Bitten by a Tick. How are we doing, ladies?
We're doing great. We love South by.
We love it.
Is this our first time at South by?
No, I think this is my second time. I
Okay,
came in
okay.
2023 with Chris Mercado's If You Were the Last, and then
The last time I was here with a film was with Pete O's with Jessica. But I'm
Okay.
from Austin, or lived in Austin for a really long time. So
Okay, so you're
I've done a
familiar with the
number
city.
of South bys. Yeah.
Okay, so you're like a little bit of a veteran.
I don't know if I'm a veteran, but I don't know.
Experience.
Sure, yeah.
she's an indie darling.
Tell us a little bit about the film for those who might not be familiar with it.
Okay. The Beauty of Being Bitten by a Tick is about a woman named Yvonne, played by me, who is in crisis and flees the city to visit a friend upstate who has a house in an effort to get away from the turmoil that she is experiencing in her life. And her friend Camille neglects to tell her that there is a gay couple staying with her in the house for the weekend. And Yvonne gets bitten by a tick and things start to get really weird.
When we're talking about a movie like this, how would you describe the tone? Because it seems like we're doing something delightfully obscure here.
Delightfully obscure. Actually, I think that's kind of the tone.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, great job. I really kind of think it is like delightfully obscure is kind of Pete O's thing. Pete likes things to have a little fantasy to them, no matter what. And so even when we knew we were making a film about ticks, I knew there was going to have to be some kind of fantastical element that would tonally shift things a little bit more. I mean, it's always going to be an element of comedy and stuff, but delightfully obscure is perfect.
Yeah.
Right. So, with all of those facets of the creative exploration of this film and this story, how do you tackle that when you're preparing for your performance and making it grounded?
Well, what's so cool about Pete O's process and working with this company of people is that with this project, you couldn't really prepare. You had to check your perfectionist because we devised the piece in real time. There was an idea. We all assembled. Callie had rented a house upstate for a year to make in several films, 2 features and a short. And all we knew is that these are the 4 actors we're working with. Someone gets bitten by a tick. And then we would write the first 3 scenes in the morning, shoot them in the afternoon, the evening, next day, try to learn from what we shot and wrote, write the next 3 scenes, shoot those. So you can't really prepare, which is really good for a Virgo like me because I can over prepare and what is that quote, like perfectionism is the enemy of art or something.
Right.
So this process forces you to be really present and say yes and be open to what unfurls.
That is so interesting. That must have been extremely liberating when you're on set and being able to perform, kind of feeling like boundless in a way.
Yeah, it's like a free fall. So it's really exhilarating and terrifying at the same time.
Right. Well, I feel like that's the good combo. What about you? How did you feel?
What was the question? I mean, the same as Zoe. It's terrifying and also really fun and freeing. How do you ground yourself when you're doing it? I mean, it's nice to be grounded within the group. It's such a good group of people and there's so much trust there, and when with this kind of collaborative process that is the really.
Now, going into the third act of the movie, now knowing the process of how you guys, I know, isn't it so cute?
It's so cute.
Everybody loves this microphone.
Fuzzy. Sorry.
So now knowing how you went about the process of filming this, where was your mind at when we were going into the third act, when things kind of start to ramp up?
Well, because we shoot everything chronologically, I kind of felt like by the time we got to the third act, I also was like,
Yeah.
we are at this place where in the experiment where you're not sure if it's working. But we, removed the pressure of being like, we have to make a movie. It's like, well, let's aim for it. But the real priority is spending time together, trying to make something. But I think you'd want to land the plane.
Yeah.
And the third act is always arguably the hardest act.
Yeah, I would say.
Even if you spend many, many months, years writing something, the third act is hard. So to hatch the third act in a morning, in a couple, over the course of like 2 days, that is stressful. But I think we just kept going back to what the goal of this project was, which was making something in community and playing. So we were allowed to be wrong, and I think that's really important. And it's so seldom we're so seldom given the permission to be wrong in this medium.
Now, tell me a little bit about, because this film definitely has some undertones of folk horror, which is probably my favorite subgenre.
Of what?
Folk horror.
Folk horror.
That's
Is
right.
that what you're saying?
And
Yes.
then I said folk horror.
Because it's folklore.
Yeah, that's
folklore.
right. To be clear, no folk horrors in the film.
But we love a folk horror.
Wait, they would be allowed. Doors are open.
Yeah.
Doors are open. No judgment.
We ride for a folk horror.
But we love folk horror as well. So
Yes.
tell me a little bit about how exciting that was that you were able to incorporate an element like that into your performance.
Well, I didn't know it existed until you just told me. But folk horror, I'm game. You
Yeah.
know,
kind of your vibe.
is it?
You are witchy.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're our favorite witch. My favorite.
oh, I know. I have been told this in recent years that I'm a little witchy, and I've never considered that. But I guess I don't know.
It's what makes you perfect for the role, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like
Sure.
completely.
It's funny because when we made Jessica, Pete was like, "Well, you're already kind of witchy," and I was like, "Really? Is that a thing that people think?" But I guess it is.
James,
And then
AJ was like, You are a witch, Callie.
he informed. I've been informed.
Yeah.
Yeah, folk horror is maybe. Wait, what was the question?
Well, how does that influence your performance when you find out that you're going to be doing something not so grounded in reality anymore?
Oh, well, I didn't. Yeah. Well, it's good to know that this exists now and that it has a name, but I don't know. I mean, it's such the whole process is alive. Wow, like it's a live wire. So you're constantly sculpting it as you go and whatever, and that's goes for the performances as well. But
Right.
I don't know. I know Pete pretty well. He really does encourage trying things.
We are the Extra Mile. We're based out of Toronto, and we always love to ask the people we sit down with what they do to go the extra mile, whether that's in your work life or in your personal life. So if either of you.
First of all, I love Toronto
Okay, awesome.
so much. I think that's you've got a beautiful city.
Oh, thank you. We love it.
It's so diverse and alive and cool and delicious food, and everybody has really good style, and I feel like they're dressing for themselves.
Right.
Versus other cities sometimes feel like people are dressing for other people. That's my thesis on Toronto. And the question was, how do you go the extra half mile?
The extra mile, just
The extra mile.
the full mile. We want to go all the way.
Okay, right.
Either it could be in your personal life or how you approach a role, when you're working, that sort of thing. Like, what do you do?
I think it goes back to trying to be present.
Right.
I think a big theme of this movie is fear, and fear can really rob you of the present moment. And I guess the pursuit of being present is what I try to practice in both personal and professional life.
Yeah, that's a great answer. That's extremely important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Such a good answer.
What about you, Callie? What do you think?
Okay, so this proverbial extra mile,
Yeah.
you know, okay.
Not a literal extra mile.
Right.
I don't wanna do that. I
Right.
want to go for a jog today.
Right. I should. I don't know. I guess by nature, I'm sort of a person that feels the fear and does it anyway, kind of by nature, and I have to sometimes reel it back a little bit
Okay.
because I'm just down, you know, kind of.
Right.
I think that's how I go the extra mile. Is I'm kind of just game.
Like you just dump off the diving board, no questions asked, and you'll go as far as necessary, sometimes farther.
Kind of. That sounds bad though when you say
No,
it like that.
I think that's extremely important as an artist because, like you said, if you have a safe space to play, you
Yeah.
want to go as far as you can, right?
Yeah, I like to push. I like to push it.
That about you.
I really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that makes for. A
I'm
fun
learning so much in
scene
this interview.
partner.
Yeah.
One more thing about looking back on this film, if there's a particular scene or moment that either you would like to revisit or, you know, that you're extremely proud of.
Well, what Pete asked us, you know, are there certain characteristics or quirks or elements that you want to bring into this piece? And I was like, can there be a synchronized dance at some point? And when I asked it, I wanted to be a part of the synchronized dance. But what actually happened was way better. And I got to witness Jeremy, Callie, James. Do you know what moment I'm talking about? Where they get to perform a synchronized dance. And I thought it was delicious then, and I find it delicious now.
That's amazing. That's definitely something.
I remember that moment because Zoe said something so cute because we were testing it out and we said, oh, maybe this is the moment. And we were testing it out. We were kind of doing some stuff. And Zoe goes, not no, Pete O's. Not no. And that was a really cute moment.
And Callie also slips in a wink at the very end, which is such a nice button to the choreo. So I'm particularly fond of that scene.
Yeah, the proverbial wink as well. It's funny. It's becoming a bit of a thing somehow because in Obex it happens as well. Anyway, I didn't know that either. I'm learning a lot. The question was what? I'm so sorry.
Just
Favorite
Oh, favorite scene. Favorite scene. I mean, I don't know if I can say.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil.
I know. How do I do this without spoilers? It's the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but how do I say that? I don't know.
I thought you were. I love that scene.
No, that's my favorite scene. But how do I don't want to spoil it.
That's okay. We can just say that there's a scene that you guys can look forward to.
That's right. And
it's awesome.
Can we wink at the same time? 1, 2, 3. Did you do it too?
I didn't wink. No.
Okay, wait, let's do it again.
One more time.
1, 2, 3.